Welcome to the eSales Podcast, your ultimate guide to mastering the art of online selling. Whether you're an entrepreneur, business owner, digital marketer, or sales professional, this podcast is the passport to dominating the digital marketplace. In this episode, we talk to Anna Red, who has written a #1 Amazon's best-selling book called The Secret Art of Selling Insurance. Here, we talk about energy and how that plays a big role in closing more deals. And for those of you who love Taylor Swift, this one is definitely the episode for you. My name's V, your e-sales navigator. Join me as we dive into the latest strategies, tools, tactics to help you automate and conquer the world of online sales. Get ready to boost your online sales game and unlock your full potential. Let's dive in. So, welcome everyone. We are so excited to have Anna Red here today with us on our fantastic sales podcast show. And so Anna is a former sales executive in beauty, education, and insurance. She's got a huge experience in sales, and she's got a #1 best-selling book on Amazon on the secret art of selling insurance. She also leads her own award-winning sales team while she teaches coaches how to have fun with sales. And so, Anna, it's so good to have you on the show today. We are definitely going to have some fun. We had a pre-call earlier this week, and we just had a great time. And I'm really excited to hear all the different stories that you have to share. So, Anna, thank you so much and welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
No problem. And we are all very excited to hear what you have to say and have to share with us today. But before we actually get started, I'd love to kind of ask you one icebreaker question. And It's going to be the most typical, most boring icebreaker question in the world.
So, that's it. I'm out of here.
Oh, goodness. All right. I hope it won't bore you too much.
All right.
So if you were stuck on an island, what would you bring? What would the one thing that you would bring or have?
My Frenchie.
Your Frenchie. Tell me more about that.
I have a little dog.
Oh, your Frenchie. Oh, yeah. Adorable. So cute. So cute.
She's sleeping on me right now. So
really? You're hiding her really well. Maybe if her head pops up, then we might not be surprised.
Might. She likes to make Zoom appearances every once in a while. Sometimes I'm in meetings and she'll pop in and take a look at who's speaking.
Really? Oh, that's adorable. Well, if she pops up, would love to have her on the show and give her some.
I see some ears right there.
There she is. Adorable, adorable. I love it. I think dogs definitely have that beautiful loyalty and that fun persona. So thank you.
Not a problem. Well, how about you? What would you have on your island?
Oh gosh, you've asked me at a really crazy time because at the moment I've got my newborn, but then I also love my headphones. I love music. I love singing. I love just but really getting mesmerized into music, right? So without music, I think I just wouldn't be able to be me.
And what's your favorite music?
Oh, like pop, classic. And then I'm interested in Bollywood music at the moment. I don't know. I don't really understand Bollywood or Hindi, but it's really relaxing and there's some kind of really nice tunes and tones to it. And it's a language that kind of love to experience. So speaking of language, as a universal skill of sales, Anna, tell us more about you and where you got to and how you got to here where you are now.
How I got here. Well, I think at this point in my life, what I'm interested in is creating my legacy. And this year, I'm not afraid to say it, I will be turning 60. I was born on the year of the dragon, 1964. And I'm kind of taking a look forward as to what I want to do with the rest of my life once I'm no longer working. And how am I going to contribute? How am I going to give back? And I think that coaching is the way to do it for me. Something that I'll feel very comfortable with doing anywhere in the world, wherever I choose to go. And who knows, I might just be a gypsy for the rest of my life. I'm not really sure, but I think that coaching is my legacy, basically. And what I know is sales.
I love that. Tell us more. Let's dive deeper into coaching and how you're going to link that up with your sales experience.
Well, with the coaching, I started as an educator early on in my life, and I really loved it, and I helped a lot of young people become very successful in the arts. I was mostly a theater teacher and also a writing teacher, and I've had many extremely successful students. that have gone on to do really great things, and they're rather famous. Some of them are rather famous, and others are just doing what they love, which is, I think, more important than any amount of money that you make or any fame.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that adage is so true, that if you do what you love, you never work a day in your life. Not that it isn't hard work. I was just thinking about Taylor Swift, who really a Swiftie. I can't say that I'm a Swiftie, but I'm her admirer, even though her music really, whatever. I think it's probably a generational thing, but I really admire how hard she works. And who's envious of her or putting her down? That girl works hard.
Yeah.
In each one of her concerts, I don't know how many hours she's constantly working and entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
And she's earned, I guess she's a new billionaire. She's earned every penny, I feel. But what drives her is her passion.
Yes.
And she's somebody that even if you take all that money away and leave her, with a room and her cats, she will continue producing. She will continue expressing herself and making her life her art, because that's who she is.
Yes.
And I think that if we could all tap into that Taylor energy.
Taylor energy. Yes. I love it for all those 50s out there.
Taylor energy is just something so amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually quote her a lot of times. People are having a bad time.
Yeah.
Quote her song, Shake It Off. And it's so true. That song is so philosophical. Sometimes you just have to shake it off, because everybody has a bad day, a bad moment, a bad week, a bad month, a bad year.
Mm-hmm.
Things happen.
Yeah.
Or you don't get received the way you want to be received. And there I'm going to quote my mother, who was a Czech gypsy, and she'd say, I was upset as a small child that I wasn't accepted, in crowd or whatever. I wanted to accept me, did not accept me. She said, well, you're not a gold coin for everyone to want you. Mm-hmm. And I think of that to this day, and I say it, I repeat it to people. You're speaking to somebody who's not your person.
Yes.
And you've got to let it go.
So true. So true.
But it's the other way around too. Maybe somebody that you just spoke to the wrong person, but you're the right one. You just have to be open to the flow.
Yes.
Things.
100%. Yes. You've dropped some really golden nuggets there, and I sort of more deeper into that, because it does sort of link into sales. The first one being you tap into that Taylor energy. And I really love that, because I think that Taylor energy is so magnetic, and people just get attracted to the Taylor energy, right? Because there's just so much negativity. You hear the news, all this clutter in the world. And so as soon as you see or meet someone, or even just see someone on the street who has that Taylor energy, you're like, oh, I want to get to know this person a little bit more. I want to hear and see what he or she does and they have to sell, or what they do as a person, right? So tapping into that Taylor energy is so important. Do you have anything else to add to that? I
want to ask you a question about that, because I think that I'm going to tell you something that I'm supposing your age, but we don't have to reveal that. But I want to confess something that I would do at your age. But first, I want to ask you what you would do, if that's okay.
Okay.
When you do see somebody, let's say that you're in an outdoor cafe or something. You might be with your baby, some friends as well. But you see somebody walk by that you find fascinating.
Yeah.
That person has that Taylor energy. Okay. What would you do?
What would I do? Okay, doing what they're doing, I would just kind of them. If they were doing something out of the norm, I would definitely go up to them and say, hey, I like what you're doing, good work, or keep doing what you're doing, something like that. Or just be more aware of them.
Would you try to catch their eye? Would you go up and introduce yourself? The baby would be fine because you're with people.
Probably.
What would you do?
It depends on what they're doing. I think this is example, if someone was singing, for example, just on the street to themselves, I would say, oh my gosh, great voice, or good on you, keep singing, it's really attractive. So I would go up to them and speak to them if that was the example. Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm going to tell you something that I did. I was at a cafe with my mother was still alive, and we were sitting outside in the cafe in a very interesting kind of part of town. And this woman passed by, and just the way she walked, her stride, she was very confident. I loved her clothes. It was very flowy, and she was an older woman. But her confidence, it was that Taylor energy. This is a winner going by.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about her. So I excused myself and I walked after the woman and I said, listen, I think you're fascinating. Please tell me everything about yourself. Start wherever you'd like.
Wow.
So actually, she joined us for some coffee.
Yeah.
We had a nice chat. And she was indeed a fascinating person. I don't remember a thing about her, but it was just one of those moments. And I lived with that openness to just approach people and ask them that kind of question. You think you're great. Tell me everything about yourself.
Yeah.
And it's such a wonderful surprise when you're right. You know that wonderful. They all have that Taylor energy, and you find out why.
Mhm.
I wasn't afraid of doing that kind of thing. I'm not sure if it's appropriate at this day and age because there's so much strangeness in the world.
Yeah.
Um, I wasn't accosting her or or threatening her or anything, but you know, we're living in perhaps a very different world than what it was when I did do that.
Yeah.
I was just wondering if a young person would do that now.
Yeah. Well, it's
I
actually,
think I would be flattered.
yeah, look, I think there are people who will still do that. This day and age, even if things have changed. It's funny because I was in a sales course, right? A couple of years back, and it was very in sales course, and one of the exercises that we had to do, challenges is what they said, was to go up and give someone a random a hug. Right. And so there were the people who were like, oh my gosh, a hug away. They're going to think I'm strange. And they would have all these beliefs, these negative thoughts around this person's going to think I'm strange. They're going to hate me. I'm going to look like an idiot. Right. And then there was the other crew who was like, let's do it. I'm up for it. Right. And you can actually see the different results of the two different groups. Right. So group number one, hesitant, negative, the person responding would also be a little bit hesitant and have that resistance as well because they could see it in the other person. Whereas the person who was a lot more open, hey, can I please have a hug? I'm just doing a challenge. If you help me, I'll just tick off the list. Then the hug was like, woo, it was just like a really great hug and it was very well received from the other person. So I think the learning from that, and I was to kind of openness and whatever you approach someone, that is a replicated and mimicked by the other person as well. So I think we can kind of that confidence, Taylor energy, and so that's going to be replicated back into the other person, whether it is back then or even now. It doesn't matter what day and age. People are people.
Absolutely. Yeah, it reminds me of a time that I was at a party and it was held in someone's honor that I didn't know. The person, I was on the East Coast of the States and the person visiting was from the West Coast.
Yeah.
I'm there at the party and I'm just standing in the middle of the room. I don't know why I was standing in the middle of the room, but I was just standing in the middle of the room. And the person came out of the shower. You know, it was a long flight. And the person came out of the shower and he walked directly to me and gave me this huge embrace. And I had never met this man before. It's just, and I asked him later, you know, we were having a conversation. I said, what inspired you to do that? And he goes, I just felt it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't weird or anything.
Yeah.
It was a little like, well, I don't know this person.
Yeah.
It was just something that was just so warm, so genuine. And it wasn't a come on or anything. It was not accosted by this man. It was just an appreciation of my energy.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was happy to see this person standing in the middle of the room. I don't know.
He probably was. It probably made his day as much as it made yours as well. So
absolutely. But you have that as when we're small children, we have that kind of reaction. And that's one of the lovely things of, say, animals, you know, dogs or cats or whatever. They just go with it.
Yeah.
It's not always welcome back.
Yeah.
I think that you have to have a bit of a sixth sense as to when you can do that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's so true. That's so true. So let's having this conversation, and I think audience and the viewers, not the viewers watching or listening, they would love to kind of how all this kind of ties together with sales. So notice that in your bio you said ask me anything about closing a deal, right? So how does all this Taylor energy, how does all this mindset link with closing a sale?
It's what sales is based on. Sales is energy. It's all energy.
Okay.
And why you can't feel offended if somebody doesn't buy from you. You might not be their person.
Okay.
They might not be your person.
Yeah.
Even the transaction of money, it's also energy.
Okay.
You have to figure out who you are in the scheme of things, what you're selling and what your message is.
Yes.
And see who it's attracting. And if it's the right attraction, if it's that attraction where it's a huge yes on both sides, that need that hug.
Yeah.
You do this.
Yeah. I love it.
Basically, that is when you close the sale. It's when there's that agreement. Let's do this. It's the right fit.
Yeah. So true. I guess
And the resistance is okay.
what, sorry, distance is okay?
The resistance is equally
Oh,
okay.
resistance is okay. Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, resistance is okay. Say like in that group that you said,
Mm-hmm.
those people who did not want to do that, they shouldn't.
Mhm.
They should be customer service
Yeah.
or
Right.
billing or whatever
Oh,
else.
yeah.
A lot of different positions in life.
Mm.
But those people that were fearless and relentless and say, yes, I want to take the challenge. I want to go and hug random strangers. Those are salespeople. They have
Yeah.
the gene.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess the sales role isn't necessarily for everyone, yet
Mm.
sales be a skill that everyone can use. Tell us more around that, like in terms of sales. Like you have to be a certain persona to become salesperson. Can that be anyone can fit the bill? You know?
It really depends. The thing is where I like to help people. I like to help the people that would be reticent to give
Mhm.
those hugs.
Yeah.
Want to them find their way.
Yeah.
It's just going to be a different method to reach the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
And perhaps they need to have a disclosure statement. I don't know. They might need to ask permission in a special way.
Mm.
Like that saying that there's many ways to skin a cat.
Yeah.
I hate to use that description, but a lot of, or all the roads that lead to Rome, a lot of different ways to get to the same results. And the thing is to tap into that.
Yeah.
Is it that someone who is not naturally gregarious, who is not comfortable asking for money, how can they close their sales? Or somebody who's just uncomfortable with asking for money.
Yeah.
How do we get there? How do we
Yeah.
get there?
Yeah.
That is the challenge that I want to take.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come to me with that worry. Come to me with that issue. And let's see how we can unravel your method in a way that
Incredible.
feels safe for you and for the person involved.
Yeah, that's incredible. So I think that's a perfect kind of to be in right now around, we find their way, right? Everyone's got their own kind of technique or way of asking permission. So for the listeners on the show, now, oh, this is me, tell me more. Be able to kind of more insight, maybe a technique or they can do to actually overcome some of these beliefs that they might have?
Well, they can have a conversation with me.
Yes, definitely.
And I also have a free gift for those people who are listening.
Yeah.
Go to secretartofsalesgift.com.
Okay.
They can download special guide that I created on objections.
Okay.
You had spoken to me that we wanted to talk about some obstacles with sales.
Yes.
And I had actually just written a newsletter on LinkedIn, 3 top things that ruin sales.
Yeah.
And first is objections. And there, I'll just leave it to the invitation. Also, what the main objection is all the time is that people aren't sold. That you have not made the connection. You're vibrating at a level that they're not picking up on.
Yep.
It could have been you. It could have been the pitch. It could have been that they don't understand. Basically, the bottom line is that they don't get the value.
Yeah.
So what? Not interested. Things that impede sales are delays. Sometimes people give up too quickly because they don't realize that it's not going to be quick, and they give up. Not everyone's going to close on the first call. Meet. You might go after that person that's walking by the cafe, and they're not going to tell you anything. They're going to say, get away from me. And they're going to keep on going. You're going to have to find out how to find them again.
Yeah.
To meet them. A delay in sales also can be the sales cycle itself.
Yeah.
If you're dealing with a larger corporation, you might have the purchase order, but guess what? It might not get paid out in another 6 months. So you have to figure out how to pay the bills. Now and then. That would be for beginners mostly. And then there are disappointments. I just had one recently where I had a couple of clients, two completely unrelated clients.
Yep.
Their payments did not go through.
Okay.
It's like, wow, what a disappointment. You know, they know, I know, we know what we've agreed on. It'll either work out or it won't.
Mm-hmm.
Again, like Taylor, I shook it off.
Yep.
Shake it off and you go on to the next thing.
Yeah.
And these disappointments are real.
Yeah.
They're real. But I'm sure they're disappointed too, because somehow, I guess what it proves to me is that they do really need me, because there's a cash flow situation.
Very true. And so sometimes it's a lot easier said than done to just shake it off. And sales does come with no's or not finding the right person, right client or the right fit. What's more around that and how someone can, the disappointment that comes with the sales.
Well, let's go back to that one that I just experienced recently. The DNA, the desire, need, and ability to pay.
Yeah.
The desire is there, the need is there, the ability to pay is not.
Yeah.
How unfortunate if I were to close the door on that person or that entity. I mean, these are two businesses.
Yes.
It's sad because you know what? It's a learning curve doing business. And sometimes you have to say, well, I'm not even going to place a judgment. I'm just going to leave it suspended in air.
Yeah.
Basically, I'm not going to shake those people off.
Yeah.
Just going to put them in the back burner and say, well, this didn't work out. Next time, it'll take a little convincing, but maybe next time it will work. It's the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
You can't shake it off. You need to talk to somebody. I mean, that you're not into having a coach, and that's fine. But there are different professional organizations where you can talk to peers, to a friend who also has a business. There was a wonderful, wonderful thing that I belonged to when I was in educational technology sales. It was called the DOLS, DOLS.
Yeah.
The Dirty Old Ladies of Software.
Okay.
Still belong to the organization, even though I don't work with software. But I just think that it's such a wonderful thing. It was all females. So it was a type of support group for women. And the name Dolls is just adorable. And Dirty Old Ladies, it's just fun. It was fun.
That's so good. I love that so much.
Yeah, conferences, they have a dinner. People can just let their hair down and they can talk about rather difficult topics with each other.
Yeah.
That they're facing.
Yeah.
You support because life is stressful.
Yeah.
Business is stressful.
Very.
I don't want to be talking to your spouse or to your friends about it because they will stop listening.
Yeah.
And that's the last thing you want to do is talk about work.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. You kind of keep those two areas separated.
Yeah. Don't want to bring that home. Even if you work at home, you have to leave it in the office or at the desk space or whatever. Once you turn your computer off, you have to leave it there.
Yeah, 100%. That's so true. And I think that element of community, especially sales job or business, where you need that backbone, you need that resilience, and you also need that support as well. It's so important to have community. Working from home or working like digital space can be quite lonely sometimes. So sometimes it's kind of hard to just vent out or just ask questions when you're just alone in your room, just working through a laptop. So I think that if people wanted to join a community, did you have any community that you would recommend or suggest?
Right now.
Yeah.
How wonderful to have a podcast.
Yeah.
You can hear other people, other like-minded people going through their struggles, going through their things. Your technology is wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you for your service.
So good, no problem. And I guess bit of a plug, if anyone was interested in joining the online community, there's going to be a link below for a bit of a waiting list for a sales school. So basically, if you wanted to be aboard, it would just be a bit of a course, and then there'll be a bit of a community as well. There'll be a link in there for everyone to join. It's obviously through the podcast and as a way of giving back and making sure that sales is fun for everyone, whether they're with the team or doing it on your own business. So Everyone's interested in that, please feel free to plug in. Then Anna, like I know that spoken a lot about, energies, and I can see that energy plays a massive role in sales, especially when it comes to handling objections, when it comes to money, right clients. What other areas, sales, do you think needs to be aware of when it comes to energy?
To energy, well, the thing is that if you're not vibrating at a certain level, that can be, you can work on it through mindset, through meditation, through journaling, therapy. I mean, is that you need to, it's different. But if you do not have that level of energy where people can connect to you, it's not going to happen. You have to love and believe in what you're doing, a huge part of it.
Yes.
And then there's also the ethical part. It has to be the right fit. You're not going to get somebody a size 10 pair of shoes when they're a 5.
Yeah.
The other way around.
Yeah.
The right fit, even if it's not yours. I remember closing a $250,000 sale on software in a meeting. That was not the software I sold. And then the person whose software it was, I knew the owner of the company. I did not know the salesperson in the territory where I was visiting.
Yeah.
That poor salesperson called me and said, Anna, what do I owe you? Or I want to give you, don't know what percentage or what. And I said, why? Which, hindsight, I was probably stupid, but this sale, I could have had a bit of it. But to me, karmically, it was just the right thing. Yeah. And that customer ended up being my customer and buying what I had. Yeah. Future. But at that moment, I solved a problem.
Yes.
And I knew the customer was distressed. I said, listen, going on, because we were not connecting.
Yeah.
The energy was off. It had nothing to do with me or what I was selling. Yeah. It's a real problem. And I solved it. And I solved it quickly.
Yeah, I love that. I so much. And it's because if the connection is there, the problem is seen, the solution is just right there. It's just effortless, right? You even sold someone else's software without even intending on doing so. You just solved a problem, and money comes later, right? But it was there if you wanted to take it nonetheless. But
and without a demo or anything, and that's the thing. I think that in reality, Ty, I've never sold anything but an idea.
Yeah.
I sell ideas.
Yeah.
There goes Bijou.
Hello.
I sell ideas, and there's a thing that's tied to it.
Yeah.
It's a higher level sale that way.
So selling ideas, selling the future, selling what could be, is like another, I guess, technique in a way for people to kind of to sell to that other person. Sometimes people get stuck in their problem, right? And I think that example of you selling that software, you will kind of show them the solution and the path with you or with the other software, right?
Exactly. And that's basically a listening skill. You have to listen to what the person is going through and see what the connection is. Your problem is more important than the solution.
Yes. So true.
So we have to delve into that problem and find the solution, even if it's not something that you represent. Now, let me go to a completely different page. I was listening to somebody struggling in sales calls for insurance, for life insurance. Problem was that this agent was lecturing on insurance.
Right.
Let me tell you, that is the most boring thing you can ever listen to. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
I told that agent, I said, nobody cares. Nobody is interested in talking about life insurance. Even though that's what I was doing for a living, and I said, if I were at a cocktail party and somebody said, Anna, please tell me all about life insurance, I would back up, create new contact and back up as if it were a bear about to attack me, and find the nearest bar or
The first exit plan.
yes, because nobody, not even someone who does this for a living, wants to talk about that, especially at a party. Again, I'm talking about the separation
Yeah.
of what you're doing for a living and what you do in your time off. I just had a random thought, but anyway, let me keep on going. The thing is, with insurance, you don't want to talk about insurance. Nobody cares about insurance.
Yeah.
What they care is about what insurance does. The
True.
thing is, find out what matters to this person. What does this person want to protect? What would happen if this person was no longer around? Who the person wants to make sure lived at a certain level was okay.
Yeah.
About protection.
True.
Because any type of insurance that you want to talk about, be it a car, a person, a health, what you're really buying is a peace of mind.
Yeah.
Not buying a product. Who cares about the product?
Yeah. Yeah. So true.
What you want is a problem to be solved.
Mm.
It's a higher order of thinking and of
Yeah.
self. It's a concept. It's an idea.
Yeah. Now, if you're serious about taking your sales skills to the next level and you really want to scale your sales online, then please sign up to our sales school. Our sales school is not just a normal course, it's not just a program, it's an experience where you'll get to learn the tools, the tricks, the trades as to how to automate your sales and scale online. You'll be able to really tap into the nitty gritties of our mindset, energy shifts around objections or different lies that we tell ourselves. And so basically, we are going to help accelerate, hold your hand side by side, so that way you really get to boost your sales online. We currently have a waiting list at the moment, so we'll put a link in the description below so you can put your name down for our next entry.
No, but the thing is that what are you really buying with that? You want to be healthy.
Yeah.
Want to nourish yourself or the people you love.
Yes, I love that. I love that. And you're right, it is definitely a higher or the next level of thinking and kind of out of that product and the detail and the actual features list, but getting more into the feelings, the energy, the thinking, the idea, the creativity that what could be of the other client as well on the other side. And I think I was also reading this listening to a podcast, and I was just saying it's more emotion, energy, as opposed to the physical to tick off the list, features list.
Right. I mean, let's talk about cars. All cars do the same thing. All cars are composed of the same thing. They all have 4 wheels.
Yeah.
And the amount of doors might vary or the size. They all have engines, powered or use petrol or, are some variances, but basically a car is created to get you from point A to point B.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
Now, when you're going to buy a car, say like in my instance, I want something that's safe and reliable. All right. But for other people, it might be a statement. To tell you the truth, I just saw the latest Aston Martin. Of course, I'm a James Bond fan, but the latest Aston Martin is absolutely gorgeous. And I think that the words, "that's a sexy car," came out of my mouth for the first time in my life. Because it's a work of art. I used to live in a neighborhood where there were a lot of Bentleys. They're handmade.
Wow.
But you might be happy with a bicycle. You might not want to, fortune on a car.
Yeah.
There are people that get Lamborghinis. And I think Cardi B, who I'm a huge fan of, Cardi B has a collection of cars and she doesn't even drive.
Yeah.
But she's a collector of beautiful things.
Yeah.
It's not even about driving. So it's not about getting from point A to
So
point
true.
B.
Yeah, so true. It's about an idea. And I think for the listeners and the people watching the video at the moment, I think it's a matter of really tapping in and using those listening skills that Anna, you were talking about, and also being able to understand what that idea the person wants, right? What are they craving? What are the desires, right? And the needs and their desires. So I think into that, and then selling that idea with whatever it is that allows them to get to there is the goal. Even if they don't drive a car, they want a car to make them feel whatever it is. I'm not quite sure why she has so many cars, but there you go. That
Yeah.
was an easy sell.
Sometimes having a car means that you've arrived.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so true. That's so true.
Or if I were to choose to go somewhere,
Yes, yes, I would go there. Yes.
I can get there quickly. You know, I don't know. I'm really not a car person. And that's why I wanted to talk about it.
Yeah.
Because you can start talking about things that you're not even interested in, then that is a huge sales.
Yeah.
To sell somebody an orange, I don't know, something really, really unusual. It's not
Yeah.
convince somebody to take a vacation you would never go on.
Yeah.
Um, so many fun exercises that you can do with something like that. I guess the theater teacher is coming out on me here.
Yeah.
Like when you in a theater exercise where you take an object and you say, how many different uses does this object have?
Yeah. It makes you think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And that's what selling is. I mean,
Yeah.
the technique of selling is, the uses that this particular thing that you're selling
Yeah.
for people.
Yeah. True. And so I think that kind of perfect segue to kind of audience a bit of an action or an exercise that they can do even today, right now, after this podcast, kind of with their own sales journey.
With their sales journey, let's say journal
Yeah.
about it.
Okay.
Because that's making you uncomfortable about sales.
Mm-hmm.
Actually the price? Is it the thing? Is it approaching people? Is it a phobia?
Mhm.
Is it within you when you're going to sell something? I remember and I think we were discussing that the other day, in a call center and feeling ill right before getting on the phone. It's kind of when you're going to go into the ocean and the waves are really rough.
Mm.
You think, oh my God, I'm going to swallow water.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'm not going to be able to swim, or maybe my swimming suit will get tangled,
Yeah.
or I don't know. You just have to figure out what it is.
Yeah.
I think that people fear objections. I think people fear rejection. And that writing exercise, what's the worst thing that can happen?
Mm.
And say no, they can hang up. They can curse you out, which I think is rather funny. Could be a pervert.
Yeah.
You can go ahead and hang up on them.
Mm-hmm.
But a list of all the possible horrible things that can happen. They can't jump through the phone and hurt you.
Yeah.
What's the big deal?
Yeah. Yeah. True. So true. I love that so much. I think the power of journaling or writing things down really makes things real for some. And then kind of me, I know I love to journal. It helps me kind of whatever fear, barrier, blockage that I have, and kind of look at the page later. If I look back, I was being a bit ridiculous. It's kind of much in my own head. So she want to write it
Right.
down.
What's the worst thing that can happen?
Yeah.
If your income is at risk with being able to sell or not, maybe you should do something else.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is not sales related. It's not for everyone.
Mm.
And you don't have to do it. But especially if you're entrepreneurial, you're going to have to know how to close business.
Yeah. 100%. I think that's sales is key to having a successful business. Whether it's one way or another way, you've got to find your own way. It's definitely key.
Until you can hire salespeople
Yeah,
and
that's
then
true.
not have to worry about it,
Yeah,
right?
that's so
But
true.
even then, you have to understand it. You have to understand how to guide them.
Mhm.
Even a customer service person is still selling.
Yes,
Because with customer service, part of the thing is making sure that they do not abandon the business that they have
yes,
with the company.
yes, that's
And
true.
what are you doing there? You're selling.
Mm. There's some sort of sales skill the whole way through the journey, whether it's actually closing the deal and keeping the customer, and also just offboarding the customer as well. People have to make sure that they have a good experience with you or the company, then they can come back or
That's right.
refer you back.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So in many ways, everyone in an organization is in sales.
Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't necessarily have to be in a role in itself, right?
Exactly.
I love it. Anna, I'm so sad it's come to a close. It's like in speaking, and it's been amazing conversations. I'm really enjoying your energy, your vibe, and also the tips and tricks that you've given us. So thank you so much, Anna. To close off, is there anything else that you want to share with the audience, and how can people find you?
Okay. They can go to annared.com.
Mm-hmm.
And in the future, I hope to have this podcast on it so that they can revisit it. Find out about me, they can book a session.
Yeah.
And if they go to secretartofsalesgift.com, they can get a complimentary copy of my sales guide.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much, Anna. It's been an absolute pleasure. And for those who are keen on the waiting school, feel free to pop in the link and then just pop in your name, and then the waiting list you'll be on the waiting list for the school, which is amazing. So again, thank you so much, Anna. It's been an absolute pleasure. I hope to have you back soon on the podcast, or we'll be in contact soon, I'm sure. Thank you so much again for tuning into the show. If you're keen on signing up to the sales school, please click the link below. Otherwise, please like, subscribe, and share our show to your network so that way we can help build a community of fun sales for everyone. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. My name's V, and remember to keep selling, keep being you, and keep having fun. See you in the next episode.